What's up, everybody? This is another session of Strategies for Creative. My name is Chris Branham, and today we are talking about timing is everything. Or is it? Let's get into it. Time is something very significant to every last person, every last being on this planet. But the funny thing about time is it's not esoteric, meaning everybody has a clear understanding of what it is because everything has an ending and everything has a beginning. So you know there is a time stamp on every last thing that comes into creation. So that means no matter what you do, whatever you start, whatever you choose to finish, you have a timestamp. Why is this so important to creatives and strategy? Because most people do not calculate and examine all the time that it's going to take to either do something, fulfill something, or start something. So why not fulfill everything you have to do in this lifetime and make a plan for it, strategize for it? It is very easy for you to be distracted doing something else instead of what you should be doing or what you're supposed to do in the moment that you are given. So when does time make sense? When you start doing something. That is when the clock starts. That is when time begins. When you are a child or an infant, you have no recollection, no knowledge, no understanding of time until someone tells you about it, until you learn about it, until you realize it is something that is clicking every day, every moment, every second, and it's allocating the time that you've already spent and dictating how much time you have left. If you don't think about this, it's going to be very easy for you to start wasting what you don't think about. A lot of times we waste food, we waste energy, we waste effort, waste money. But now, how do you maximize it? How do you maximize what you know you have and what is allocated to you? The only thing you know about is today. And honestly, the only thing you know about is the moment and the past that you've already experienced. So now, if you don't have the end date in mind, maximize what you do have. Plan for those days. Plan for the moments so you're not wasting the moments and you are utilizing every second to complete whatever you have creatively. Time only makes sense when you start utilizing time, meaning you start allocating it towards something. If you don't allocate it towards something, someone else will because they realize that they might need you or you realize that you don't know what to do. They're going to take advantage of you to produce something. This is where jobs come into play. This is where you working for somebody in a 9-to-5 that you don't, necessarily like or enjoy, and now you feel stuck in a position or a job, is because they're taking your time because they know you need them. And more or less, you need the money that they have. So that's where you start having to figure out, where do I want to put my time so I create the financial wealth that I desire and I'm utilizing my creativity to do so. That's where you see a lot of people getting stuck because they know they need finances, they know they need money because this is a part of life. This is something that is necessary on your day-to-day. So you're going to do what's necessary in order to live, or you will have the opposite effect. When you know this, figure out how to allocate every part of it and do not let someone else allocate it for you. And when I say that, I'm not saying just hurry up and quit your job. I'm not saying just run out and be like, I'm done with this position and I no longer want to do it anymore. If you don't want to do it anymore, start planning to remove yourself. That means have a strategy for finances, means have a strategy if you have obligations, plan for those, planning for your family and that transition. This is all about time and what that looks like for them and for you. Time is also affected when you realize you have something to do. If you don't realize you have something to do, more than likely, your time will just start ticking and ticking and ticking, and you will not be aware of it until you put something on that time that you value, like you want to watch your favorite show, or you want to spend time with your favorite person, or you want to do something else outside of what you're doing currently. That's when time starts making sense for a lot of people. But here's where you start maximizing time, giving it value every single moment of every single day. If you don't think about the value in your seconds, in your minutes and your microseconds, like you're not going to pay attention to the amount of value that you have on a day-to-day basis, and you will waste it. The part that most people do, including myself, I am completely guilty of this. When I didn't have a strategy and I didn't have a plan, I didn't have a calendar, I didn't have dates set for those moments, I wasted time. I did other things. I was distracted. I decided to call and play with my phone or text or play on an app. It was nothing related to what I should be doing in the moment because they don't recognize and relate time to value, and they don't look at the value that's related to what they're doing. So if you maximize your time on your job, it's going to look like you being very focused focused to complete all your tasks. If you can complete your task in a timely fashion, that's where people see that you have done something in excellence and you've expounded on the maximization of your time. And now they start looking at you in other areas for how do you perform. This is where you create leverage. And now your time has become a benefit to you rather than a hindrance. And you can now maximize your time, whether it's a raise, whether it's promotion, whether it's other areas or positions in the company, or if you're an entrepreneur, maximize your time might mean getting your job done quicker on a project. Now they see that you're more efficient and excellent in what you do. And now you have more room and space to now navigate for other clients or build other repertoire or show them other capabilities. So when you think about time, I'm gonna leave you with these 3 things. Plan, 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 and say no. This is something I've started to live by, and it's very unique, meaning you can plan everything you do, plan your day, plan your strategies, etc. But when it's time to do it, cut off everything else and say no to it. You have to focus on what you've planned for. If you allow other distractions to come in and they're not a part of your plan, they've just now wasted your time, and they now have given your time a different set of values than what you did. The other one is learn, 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 and then turn it off. So whatever you're learning from, whether it's a book, YouTube, sitting in a class, a course, online courses, going to events, etc. Now turn that thing off and start doing something. Now you have to put it into action, become a doer after you've learned those things. We have the tendency as individuals and people to be distracted after we learned, or we weren't distracted while we were learning, or we were distracted while we were learning, and we weren't putting those things into action because we never thought they were important or valuable. The last one is review, 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 and now synthesize your data, meaning you've looked over everything you've done as far as research, learning, as far as understanding, all of that. You've put it into action, now review it, and then now compartmentalize it and put it where it needs to go. Whether you need to make updates, you need to make changes, you need to figure out what your next steps are. That's going to be the important key. I hope this helps somebody. Appreciate you. See you on the next one.